linkage was sitting on an angle like this. I didn't. Today I'm not working on the truck. I got a little projects I'm gonna work on. One of them being, I got a few parts to change on this mower right here. I just got this thing, and it wasn't I didn't pay a ton for it, but I felt like it was a pretty good deal. It's a snapper drive disc kit with liner. So I'm gonna change this out today. And then I got a couple of that's a couple of deck wheels, because these two front ones are very bad shape. This one's tapered, it's so bad. And then right after we got it home, my wife was cutting the front yard while I was at work, and the belt started jumping off, and we couldn't keep it from jumping off. I had one spot in it. I don't know what happened. It's like that one spot got burned up. I looked underneath. Didn't look like anything got caught between the blade and the deck. So I don't know what happened. So I have a new belt here. It's been a process to try and get the right length belt from Napa. So anyways, let me get started. Oh, I got one other thing I'm gonna change. So I'm gonna cut it like right here and add this valve in. Okay. I'm gonna stand this up. Take it out of its little slot. Stand it up. So all the fuel drops back down this way. I know there's gonna be some in the line. Cut it. And there's an arrow on the back of this for flow. So there, good as new. Now I got a shut-off valve on it. Now we can stand this thing up on end and get to doing the real work. Well, the little liner in here doesn't look too bad, but the wheel itself is definitely worn. But now we can put this belt back here, I think. I hope. There it goes. All right. A lot easier than trying to do it with that wheel on. All right, let me finish putting the belt on. Okay, I got the belt on. You can see it's got slack in it, right? But it's not engaged. Pull it up. Still got a little bit of slack in it, but that's way better than the other belt was. So I think I'm gonna leave this one on here and run it. Let me put this new drive wheel on. Okay, so you kind of see. It don't really look too bad looking at it compared to the new one. I mean, it's a little bit. Oh, if you look at it, kind of, get like a better light. Might be a little thicker overall. I went ahead and threaded one of the nuts on by hand, put the plate on. It's got play in it, but it ain't, I don't think it's anything like it was before. So I think it had a lot more in and out play and a lot more side to side play. So I think this is gonna do wonders for how this mower drives. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna put the rest of these nuts on, tighten this thing up, and then we'll address these deck wheels real quick. This one ain't as bad as that other one. This one here is definitely shot. Okay, I tried breaking this loose with 2 wrenches a minute ago, and yeah, it's not working. So I went and got my impact. Got a little sleeve in it. Out with the old. And then you got the new wheel right here. Voila. Nice, round, not tapered wheel. So, just a little bushing back in. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side real quick, and then I'll get this thing laid back over on its wheels. We'll give it a little bit for all the oil to drain back, and we'll, I got one tire that's refusing to hold air. So I'm gonna top that tire off with air real quick, and then we'll take this in for a little test spin, mow some grass, see how it does.
Dang it, Bobby, that's exactly what we don't want.
I'm gonna show y'all the old pulleys. I already changed the 2 main deck pulleys out. That definitely helped, but I ordered the smaller flat pulleys. Ordered those 2 as well. Oh, and I changed out the one that moves when you engage the belt. I changed that pulley out as well. So I changed 3 of the 5. Let me show y'all what the old ones look like and why I changed them. If you look, see all that pitting and everything inside there? That's not good for your belt. All that'll do is chew it up and ain't really gonna grab. You see where the belt was slipping, like polishing it, making it smooth. It's not good. Belts, and you can kind of see like there's a little dip right in the middle where the belt's been riding for years. That's not good either, so you're not getting full contact with these pulleys. Now they're all beat up, right? Because I smoked them with a hammer to shock them, knock them loose. You look at the new ones, you see it's a nice flat. Like I said, I changed this one, the one over there, and the one back here. Now this one back here, the bearing was like trash in it, like absolute trash. So you can see this one's all pitted, just as bad as the other ones. So definitely needed some new pulleys, and then those aren't too much better the way the bearings sound. And also I bought this tune-up kit that's for these 16 horse. It's for 12.5 to 21 horse Vanguard V-twins. So I'm gonna work on doing this as well. Get this thing a fresh tune-up. Came with oil, spark plugs, fuel filter, air filter. So Here's one of the new ones. Like I said, them other ones are definitely bad. That's much better. I got them 2 pulleys changed out. This one was a bit of more of a pain in the butt because there's like little spacers and stuff in there, and then I over tightened it at first, and none of this would move. But I got it good now. Just had to back off the nut just a little bit so it would it can move. Doesn't even have the pre-filter on it. The new one and the old one, right? Ooh-wee. The spark plugs look like they've probably never been changed. Look at the end of it. Look how corroded it is. That one's pretty corroded too. Real quick, I want to show y'all. It shows right here to gap it to 30 thousandths. So I'm gonna get my gapping tool, gap these new plugs, grab a socket, we'll change them out. About 30 thousandths right there. Different size. Plug's got a different size on it. Alright. So there's a pretty considerable difference. Like the length's the same, but like all this is different on this plug. These are really old Champion plugs. They must have redone the design, I guess. But look at the this thing ain't got no gap in it. Compared, I mean, I'm probably close, but look how much the little electrode's bent over. Maybe y'all can see all that buildup on the end of the plug. And this one ain't got hardly any gap. Real quick. Change this fuel filter. I already shut the fuel off. I don't know. What y'all think? I think it looks a little dirty in there. That looks like it wouldn't. Definitely doesn't hurt to change it. Remember, always look for the arrow. We gotta change the oil, which is in a very... I always hate where they put these freaking drain valves at. drain plug. I know I'm probably making a mess on the floor a little bit. But not nearly the mess I would be making, so. I love these sockets, oil filter sockets. A little bit of that Earl. Place that here on the O-ring. I'll try putting a little bit in here. Oh, it is. This filter housing's angled. I don't know if it's really gonna do me any good to try and angle this. I think it's just gonna make a big old mess. That's what's gonna end up happening. But good intentions, right? Here goes nothing. Give this a try. Oh, I don't think I lost much. I got some 2050 here. That's what I topped it off with the last time. I'm gonna flush this engine a little bit, get some of that black oil out of there. I think that should be good. I only have 1 quart in here. I don't remember how much it said it took. Looks like we are about halfway, so not too much more. Keep saying a little bit more, but I don't want to overfill it. Oops. Of course, once I crank it and got the oil filter full, I'm gonna probably have to add a little bit. So it probably wouldn't hurt to be over full. But the oil filter probably drains back naturally. Just at the air, a little bit on the air. All right, let me move everything. Give this thing a quick crank. See, I add just a touch more. I think we'll be good. There we go. Got the oil right there. So, all right, so that's good. Pinch the little holder down a little bit inside of it. There we go. That's snapped on a lot better. And that one's on good. Sounds a billion times better. All right, let me get everything cleaned up and picked up, and then we'll go take it for a little test spin and see how it does.
I guess it's back to the drawing board.
I went all over the yard cutting with it. It ain't perfect by any means. Oh, it still slips a little bit under a real heavy load. I don't know why. All new belt. Oh yeah. All new pulleys. New belt. I don't know. Unless the pulley that's on the motor is messed up too. I stood the mower up and decided to have a look at that that rear pulley. It's bad. It's very bad. Like, I need a new one. Yeah. It's all pitted and everything too. I'm gonna order a new one, and then the face of it is got some grooves in it, which isn't helping that drive wheel. So yeah, I'm gonna go look for a new pulley for that.
Much later.
Okay, the last part, I'm hoping it's the last part for this whole belt slipping dilemma we have going on, has finally come in. Oh, got it right here, Briggs and Stratton drive pulley. And anybody wants to know, that's the part number. So I'm gonna get this mower stood up on the end, and we'll figure out how to get this rear end out of here and get this pulley changed out.
One, two, three, 5, 6, I think, in one boat.
Took this plate off that went across here. I guess it just holds the this shift fork right here, and I undid the nut right here on this joint for this shift linkage. Now we just gotta figure out how to get this pulley off. Got some slack in the belt. Tuck it up here. Alright, so looking at the new one. Looks like we got 2 set screws I gotta find on it. One there and one over there. Oh, there we go. There's one. I'll put some never sees on these before I go back into the new pulley. I probably should have tapped it in to begin with. The socket's a little twisted on the end. There's number 2. Alright, I'm gonna have to get my hands on a puller, I think, to do this. I'll go ahead and soak everything while it's hot with some PB Blaster. Liquid wrench. Liquid wrench. Alright, so I don't have a puller, and me being determined to get this thing off, I've gotten it to move a good little bit now. I got some wedges in there. I've just been kind of just cycling, driving them in a little bit more, and it keeps jumping.
It's steadily coming off.
Oh, bother. How long will that take?
Days, weeks, months, who knows?
I'm getting pretty close to having it off.
considerable weight difference between these two pulleys. Very considerable weight difference. This top portion of this shiv is like paper thin compared to this one. This one's much beefier. And then the drive is about the same, but this one's got, you can kind of see where that wheel's been riding on it in different places over the years. Got a wedge right here I can use.
Much later.
Yeah, that's much better. Got some handy C's. Anyways, beautifully. That went on very well. Okay. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the rear end back together. Start putting everything back together and get the rear end mounted so I can set the gap on this drive wheel. And then lock this in position with its set screws. Everything's together and tight now with all the brackets and everything's back in place like it's supposed to be. I got a huge gap I can slide, so which it slides relatively easy compared to how it was going before, right? I got it really close to that drive wheel. I don't know what exactly it's supposed to be set to, but I felt like it was kind of sitting far away before. I guess I'll find out when I start driving it around the yard in a little bit. What's going on? It's a nice rainy, I guess now you could say nice rainy afternoon after work. So the mower isn't pulling right when it's in gear. I think I need to adjust the drive shiv down a little bit. But there's a few things I want to check and do. I may have mentioned it already, I may not have. Let me point y'all everything. So behind these boots is these, what they call a jack shaft, and I'm getting them dirtier, but they're pretty nasty up in there, so I'm going to shift this thing back and forth and take these boots off and clean up back there real good. And then I was watching a video I'm gonna pull this rubber plug out here and this one out here and see if there's any oil in these differentials. Because I really don't feel like there is. It's an old mower. Alright, we're gonna start off with these plugs real quick. There's a little bit of something down in there. I got a couple different bottles of gear oil here. I'll put this 75 140 gear oil in it. Let's see how I do this without making a huge mess. And it's full. Pop the little plug back in and make sure it's full. Yeah, it's full. Alright, so real quick, there's actually two right here, right? The guy in the video said the snapper manual wants you to pull both of them, fill the top one till it comes out the bottom one, but I kind of agree with what he said. It's kind of pointless to do that because it's one big cavity, right? There's nothing. Yeah, there ain't nothing left in that. Some sludge maybe, but just trying to get something in here because it obviously has nothing in it. Alright. Now we're cooking with something here. Getting the oil and differentials that I didn't know were out of oil. That sounds smoother. Just having the oil in it, spinning the tires around. Man, it's amazing what lubrication does, doesn't it? Alright. Next thing on the ticket item that we're going to tend to. Next thing that we're going to tend to is clean these two jack shafts. Let me move this thing all the way over into fifth. Now let's slide that back. See how nasty all this is. Got some spray cleaner. I really want this mower to last a long time, so I'm trying to get everything as straight on it as I possibly can. Grease that I put on my tractor, on all its joints and everything, so this ought to be really good for this. That's pretty, I think that's plenty of grease on there because you're going to get so much on that surface. And really and truly, I need to replace these boots because these boots are pretty shot. Yeah, they're pretty ripped up in places. Which I'm gonna take advantage of real quick. I'm gonna pack some more grease down in here. Okay, I think I found part of my problem. I took the little cross brace that was right here out. I kept noticing that the shift linkage was sitting on an angle like this. I didn't have it in that back hole in the top frame of the frame. So I was letting it sit at an awkward angle. I was like, man, why do I feel like the I kept sitting here looking, I was like, why do I feel like this shifter linkage is at some funky angles? And why does it seem like it's binding up here against the frame? Like I went back and looked at another video I was looking, I was like, man, it looks a lot straighter in the video, and I started looking, kind of focusing on where all this is mounted. I saw over here that it was in down here, but it was kicked out to the side just enough to have it like in a bind like that to the hole. So yeah, I got in a hurry putting it together, and I overlooked something that simple like that. Then I fixed the routing of this cable because in the video I also noticed that this was on this side. I don't know if that would have hurt anything, but I figured I might as well put it back like it's supposed to be. Nothing like getting that first sip of anything cold right out the freezer. Anyways, actually I think I let it sit in the freezer too long. It's a little bit on the more slushy side. Yeah, it's got to defrost for a little bit. Anyways, I went back and looked at some of the old footage. I think I may have put this lower brake bracket down here, right here. I think it needs to go on this side of the bracket. On this side of this part of this, whatever. Anyways, you get what I'm trying to say. It needs to go like this. Bought another drive wheel because it sounds like I almost wonder if this wheel isn't slipping already, which it shouldn't be. I mean, the rubber part of it looks pretty good. Oh, I can see there's some spots right there where it's been slipping. Anyways, I'm gonna change that off camera because y'all saw me do that already. But then when I ordered this one, it didn't come with this little fiber disc, so it was working just fine before I took it apart. Well, I wouldn't say just fine, but it was driving around just fine. Let me put it that way. That's much better. And how it lines up, because now this little rod is now in the neutral position like it's supposed to be. Makes me want to try it without changing the clutch disc actually. But I'm getting really tired of standing this mower up. So I changed the wheel out. I put the old, that little friction disc that it was on the inside. I doubled them up. So now I got hardly any side to side play on that wheel, which I think will help a lot. it's shifting through the gears better now that I moved that bracket over. And I definitely feel like the clutch is engaging better with the new wheel and probably with that added disc in there. It's still slipping though. It'll take off fine, and then all of a sudden it starts slipping. I pulled it back in a minute ago, and the disc was covered in oil. So I cleaned everything with cleaner very well. Pulled it back out, took off great. I'm kind of running out of ideas. So I changed that main drive pulley. The other one's bare metal, right? Doesn't have any paint on it. I'm thinking the paint might be messing it up. So I'm gonna take this wire wheel I got here on this end grinder, pencil grinder, and I'm gonna wire wheel all the paint off this wheel real quick. Hope that does it, because I mean the paint's kind of slick, so I could see the rubber slipping on it if it had anything got between them, right? Like I said, I'm running out of ideas on what could be causing it to not pull while in gear. Because everything I've looked up online says that all the rear end components are probably in good shape. Because they said if you can spin one wheel and the other one's doing, all your gearbox and chain case and everything are good. So now I'm down to just basically retracing my steps on everything I messed with already. So, I'll show y'all something. So from the bottom of the case back there to this face on the shiv is supposed to be between 3 3/4 and 3 13/16. And I don't know if you can tell, I got it kind of split into two right now. And it gives me just enough room in neutral where I got a little play. The drive wheel is ahead. When I pulled it in just now, I mean, I went and drove it around a good bit, and in fifth gear on flat, it would cooperate and drive pretty good, but I was sitting about 3.5 inches. Don't know what happened. I definitely had it adjusted to where it was touching before. I don't know if the last time I didn't tighten the set screws quite enough or what, but I'm about to lay it down and try it again for like the 100th time. About to get this thing quick wash before I put it back in the shop. I'm thoroughly excited about this thing working right. Just remember, sometimes it pays to go back to the last thing you messed with on something, right? Even though you think you put it together right, sometimes you need to go back and double check it. I swore I had that pulley tight enough with the set screws. I guess I didn't. Also, it pays to slow down when tearing stuff apart and putting it back together sometimes.